Hello farmers. Today we're going to take on leveling Peter G from where his current level is at 154 up to level 700. And as I've mentioned several times, he has his 2.1 billion coins, which is the magic number to get all the way to 700. And Peter F, his friend, has 2.1 billion coins as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is to get Peter G to be 2 million experience points higher than Peter F. So we're just going to hide everything because I don't need to be seeing all of the facilities and all of that while we do the leveling up. And then we're going to go to the store, and under farm decor, we sort that by cost. Scroll down to 100,000, and you can see the snow cloud here. So we're going to buy the snow cloud, and I set one starter snow cloud up here in the corner, and we're going to buy multiple. Then I'm going to hide the decorations, and we'll just start clicking. Now I do want to let you know that I put a clock in the bottom right corner, and that is the live time. I'm going to attempt to do a full level up chronologically so you can watch the clock and see where we're at, how long it took to do each thing. Okay, so while Peter G finishes leveling up here to get 2 million experience points ahead of Peter F, I just wanted to show you Peter F's account real quick. And so here you can see Peter F. He also has 2.1 billion coins, and he has 2,250,000 experience points. So at this point you can see that Peter G is at least 2 million experience points ahead of Peter F. Now this is going to be important so that you don't lose farm cash, and we will explain that here in just a minute. So we're going to go ahead and take Peter G and have him visit Peter F's farm. And we'll buy multiple. And I'm going to set some starter blocks. I just want you to follow along here. Okay, so what I have done is I put a single snow cloud along the edge down here, and then I've shown the decorations and hidden them so that I have the squares. And then I put a little space here so that every 10 rows I'll be able to see how many I've put down. This is important because we're hiding the decorations while we put them down. And so I zoom out all the way, and then I zoom back in 2 times, and I make 20 rows available. When I do that and the box comes up here in the middle of the screen, I can still see this whole edge. So I'm going to pull my timer back up. So we had to move the clock back up to the top because the Facebook notifications kept popping up. But now we're running, and I want you to notice how quickly the counter is running over there. It's running at about 7 clicks per second. And this is very important to not go faster than 7 clicks per second, because FarmTown gets very irritated that you're doing too many clicks in too short amount of time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to move the mouse to the next square every minute. And this will keep it from maxing out a row, and it will allow that counter to continue running as fast as possible. So you will see that at 10 seconds after I move the mouse from one box to the next box and allow it to continue to run and continue to put down these snow clouds. Okay, so I've run a few rows. You can see that I accidentally put a few too many on those rows. I didn't quite move my mouse in time, but it doesn't really matter if you do finish out the row, as long as you don't sit there and continue to click when a row is finished out. You can see that my counter is still running really quickly, And as long as that counter continues to run quickly, you can continue to click as fast as 7 clicks per second. Okay, so right now you're seeing that I've moved my mouse, but the cloud has not moved yet. There it goes. So you're going to get a little bit of a lag in the system, but again, as long as the counter up there where the XP is counting still continues to run, it's okay to continue clicking on the clouds and putting them down. I did want to tell you that each 10 rows is worth about 4 million experience points. So since we started off right at 4 million, we should finish a little above 8 million experience points. Now I've moved the mouse and we're just waiting on the cloud to move over to update as well. But as long as your mouse is in the right position, your clicks are going on the next row. Okay, so at this point I have stopped clicking and I'm just going to allow the game to catch up to all the clouds that I put down. Again, we did one section which was 10 rows, and when those 10 rows are done, I'm going to reload the farm and we'll start again. Okay, so it just caught up with us, and that was just under 14 minutes that it took to do 10 rows. So we're simply going to go home, clear the message off the screen, go back to Peter F's farm, show decorations, buy multiple. Now we hide the decoration, and I'm going to set up, I already did this row of 10 down here. Okay, so we're going to start off at 246, and here we go. Okay, so we're about to move it again, and I want you to notice that the counter is still moving very quickly, even though we've already put down 6 full rows. I have not had it max out any row, and it is still continuing to run at a pretty high speed. So I really feel like if you don't max the row out, you just get really close, then the counter doesn't slow down as much. Okay, so we're almost at the end of row 10. My counter has slowed down just a little bit, and I'm actually getting a little bit too far ahead of it. So I'm going to stop clicking when we get to 56 and let the counter catch up for just a minute. Okay, so my counter caught up, and I've started clicking again. It just took a minute for it to catch up. So we did 10 rows in 11 minutes that time, because we didn't let the counter lag behind. Okay, so now we are almost at level 385, and I want you to notice how it shows 1 farm cache as we go up each level. It's about to do it again. Alright, right there, that 1 farm cache. Now when we go to 386, it's going to give you 2 farm cache. Right there. And between 386 and 400, it gives you 2 farm cache per level. So what we're going to have to do is, when we get to level 400 and have claimed all the 2 farm cache levels, we're going to have to switch over and have Peter F plant some clouds between levels 385 and 400 so that he also gets the 2 farm cache per level. Okay, so we have reached level 400, which means that Peter has now gotten an extra 15 farm cache, and now we need to switch from Peter G over to Peter F and have him level up to where he gets to level 400 as well. Okay, so we're now on Peter F's farm, and you can see that he has leveled up because Peter G has been putting clouds on his farm. And so the first thing we're going to do is just simply clear off all these clouds, and we click on the bulldozer. Alright, so that should have enough of them out of the way. Those are probably just singles over there. We're going to have Peter F go visit with Peter G. Have him buy multiple. Hide the decorations. 1, 2, 3. Zoom in 3 times. And now we can start clicking. You may notice that the counter is not running quite as fast on this one as it was on Peter G's account. And the reason for that is that Peter G is using Internet Explorer while planting the clouds, and Peter F is using Firefox while planting the clouds. And there is a dramatic difference in the speed at which it processes the clicks. So I do want to caution you that if you're going to do this, the account that is planting the clouds would be better served to be using Internet Explorer for this process. Okay, so Peter G has now reached level 400, and I'm sorry, Peter F has now reached 400, and we're just going to let the rest of these clouds finish planting, and we will switch back over to Peter G and have him go back to work. There is another level between 475 and 500 where you also get 2 farm cash, and this is why I said to put 2 million experience points in between the 2 accounts so that you don't run into an issue where both accounts are at level 475 at the same time. Okay, so we have now switched back over to Peter G, and as you can see, he went up 32 levels from the stuff that Peter F planted on his farm. And so we're going to clear that off and switch to the bulldozer and just clear these clouds off because you don't need them, they just get in the way. And now we will visit Peter F's farm. Okay, so I now have the snow clouds laid out, so I can have my little squares, and I have a snow cloud selected that I have decorations hidden, and we're going to go back to planting. Okay, so here we go, and again you can see the counter really moving, and this is because of Internet Explorer. The other browsers just simply don't seem to go as fast. And so we will be moving on the minute and planting 10 rows of snow clouds. So this will take about 10 minutes of total time. Okay, we're coming up on level 276, and we're going to start getting 2 farm cash now. I have stopped clicking, and I'm just going to let the game catch up and find out how many more rows I need to plant. At this point in the game, you go up 4 to 5 levels per row. Okay, so the game is caught up now, and looks like I need about 4 more rows, maybe 4.5 rows. You go 4 to 5 levels per row. So I'll just do 4 rows for right now and see how close that gets us to level 500. Alright, so now Peter G is up to level 500 and claimed all of the levels that take 2 farm cash. At this point, I'm going to log out of Peter G and log Peter F into Internet Explorer, and we're going to spend all of Peter G's 1.7 billion coins and see how quickly we can get him leveled up. Okay, so now we are back on Peter F account, and you can see that he went up 71 levels from what Peter G did, and we'll just say okay to that. Then I'm going to get rid of the snow clouds, try to keep my farms clean. And now we will visit Peter G's farm, and I'm going to go ahead and set up the single snow cloud along the edge. This will take me just a second, but I'll edit the video. Okay, so you can see I have my single snow clouds laid out here along the edge, and I'll zoom in 3 times. I'm going to scroll up and put 20 on the screen at once, and I'm ready to start clicking. Alright, we just finished the 30th row, and it took about 40 seconds for the cloud to move after I finished that row. So I had a pretty decent lag. I'm about 1,000,000 XP behind where I should be. So what I'm going to do is hide this window. I'm going to scroll down. Now this is going to cause it to lag. As soon as I get it off the screen, it doesn't lag anymore, and this speeds up the process of sending the clicks through just a little bit. So I'm going to zoom all the way out, and I'm going to scroll down and pull either my neighbor's farm, which is what that little square is beside your farm, and pull it all the way off the screen, and then I'm going to zoom all the way in and just click about 10 times. And now my counter is running as fast as it can possibly count. So we just simply wait and let it catch up. Okay, so that took 3.5 minutes or so for it to catch up, and now it's done all of the rows that I planted. I'm just going to go home, go back to Peter G's farm, zoom all the way out, show decorations so I can grab a cloud, buy multiple, hide the decoration, and I'm on my 4th and final set of 10 that I'm going to do on Peter G's account. So we'll just start clicking. Okay, so at this point you can see the text coming up on the screen that says the employer doesn't have enough money, and so we have run Peter G completely out of coins, and we will now switch over to Peter G's account and spend the remaining 574 million on Peter F's account. Okay, so now we are back on Peter G's account, and you can see that he's gone up 174 levels. So we just need to simply go to Peter F, remaining 500,000 coins. Okay, so I've laid my markers out, and I'm ready to just start working these rows. Okay, so we have now leveled Peter G all the way up to level 700. He now has 42 million experience points. And Peter F is not far behind him. He's right at 40 million experience points. So just have a little bit more to do on Peter F to get him leveled up. But basically we spent a little bit less than 3 hours and leveled up 2 different people, both Peter G and Peter F, from level 150 or whatever they were up to 700. So it's a very fast process. Now you've seen it, now you can do it yourself.